Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Yes, here we are at Ustream TV studios for the Thursday portion of Jim Davidson. This week, OBE, this week live, okay? Just a little bit for you here on YouTube to wet your whistle, to try and encourage you to come and join Ustream, the fastest growing TV streaming channel in the whole of the universe. Don't you worry about that. Never mind the others. You come with us and laugh like you used to. And it will tell all them other nasty people who will not let us advertise on their programs, they can go do one. Ironically, we're still advertising on GB News. Well, we will be next month if GB News is still there. I hope it is, and I think it's a fantastic. I think what's happened now, though, is getting a bit much. This cancel culture, even from... Listen, I was on a show the other night, right, a Dan Wootton show, which is now done last night by Patrick Christys, who I think is fantastic. And the bit I was on was called Uncancelled, and now Uncancelled. And I saw him introduce me the way Dan did, through gritted teeth. Britain's greatest entertainer, Jim Davidson. I thought, here I am on a show called Uncancelled, speaking to a person that's been cancelled by one that's been not uncancelled as well. What's happened to the Reverend Calvin? He's gone to the big newsroom in the sky. He's outside picketing, walking up and down. I was here to do Dan Wootton show. I could have done that, Reverend. I could have said that. I'm not doing it. But, you know, I like GB News. I'm sure Dan will be back. We love Dan. I'm not sure about Lawrence Fox. Has he managed to escape? Did you see that? Did you see the coppers in his house? Talk about wind them up, though. He sat there smoking a cigar while the police were searching his house. It could have been a Hamlet, you know, with that music. When it all goes tits up, you get the Hamlet out and everything goes away. And he was saying about these 5 coppers were in there looking, and that's not very nice, that. Not very nice at all. It must have been quite frightening for him. That's the way he reacted, the way he did. I mean, people react differently. You know, like Dan Wootton, when he reacted to Lawrence Fox saying that bad thing against that woman. He went, like that. That's the way you react. If someone tells you the most awful joke, you laugh, don't you? Have you ever laughed when you're so frightened? You do. If you cough and follow through, you laugh. Person behind you doesn't very much, but there you go. So all I'm saying is, these 5 policemen have now arrested, I don't know if he's been charged, but arrested Lawrence Fox, right, who's just been sacked from all types of things, for encouraging people to smash up Ulysses. How do you pronounce that? Ulez. Not Ulay. Yeah, they've got them in Spain as well. It's called Ulay. Yeah. ULEZ cameras. Okay, now let's just get this right. What is a ULEZ camera for? It's to prevent people being gassed to death in London by emissions from dodgy old cars, okay? And Mayor Khan, once again, is thinking about the lives of his people, and he does not want them killed by people with these gas-guzzling cars that come in and belch out emissions. Mind you, you can come in if you give the mayor 12.5 quid and then fuck the people. He don't really care about how many dies. Then I'm sure 12.5 quid will cover it all. What's a death worth? Any advance on £12.50? 14 quid? I'm offering 12. Right, here you go. It's absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? So these ULEZ cameras now are getting the good news from people called Blade Runners. And allegedly, and apparently, according to the old bill and the reports I've read, Lawrence Fox encouraged people or mentioned the fact that these people are cutting them up. He said he might go out himself and do one. Well, and so what happens? 5 policemen turn up at your house, okay? 5 policemen turn up and ransack to see if they can find a chainsaw or something like that, or a RPG to get rid of these ULEZ cameras. Absolutely ridiculous. So, folks, if you find a burglar in your house, I've always said that, if you find a burglar, defend yourself. And if you kill the poor chap, just bury him at the bottom of the garden, because burglars don't tell people where they're going burgling, do they? What's happened to Harry the Dip? Dunno, ain't seen him for a couple of weeks. And if they dig him up, your garden up 10 years later and find some bones, just say you bought some topsoil off Fred West or something like that. I always say best to be tried by 12 rather than carried by 6. So, what are these coppers doing? What are they looking for? It's absolutely ridiculous. If, however, you are being burgled, my advice is not to attack a burglar, because they're normally quite switched on blokes who look like they're extras from gangster films with broken noses and cabbage ear rolls. The best thing to do is keep out the way, let them have what they want. If you've got a Rolex, give it to them. Rather that, or they take your arm as well, some of these people. But here's what you do. If there's a burglar in your house, phone the police, and the police will say, when the woman answers it, hello, police, emergency, I'm being burgled. Well, sorry, we'll come round tomorrow and give you a crime number. Phone them up and say, I'm just about to go out and smash up some ULEZ cameras. And they'll be around there like shit through a goose. Don't you worry about that. And talking of ULEZ cameras, before I go over to Ustream, because I'm going to have a moan today about this transvestment thing that's going on. And now Kevin Keegan, he's popped in about women for lollipit and kick the floor and lollipit and all dangle and swappy. Oh, yes. So here's the thing. A ULEZ camera, one of the mayor's finest, right, has given out £11,000 in wrong fines. You know why? It wasn't malfunctioning. Guess what? No takers? It was facing the wrong way. That's it. Yeah. So what Lawrence Fox should say, he said, look, in this world where you can identify as anything you want, I was trying to help a ULEZ camera to turn. Just point it round the other way. Can you get nicked for that? I suppose that is doing something, isn't it? Just, oh, sorry, it was a bit loose, so I was screwing it on. Right, let's go over. Oh, don't forget, come and join Ustream. Go to ustream.com. Grab your package, sign up, and come and join us. And then you can transfer your password and your username to your TV on your smart TV, and you can see me in 16:9. You can't say fairer. Bye. On this week's episode of Proper Comedians, Jerry Kay, Jim Davidson, Danny Posthill, and John Maloney. Proper comedy, proper laughs, proper comedians. New episode streaming this Friday only on Ustream.